Good morning, good day, good night, good everything. Rhetorical Arts here, workout partner for the creative mind. And I wanted to talk about part 2 of the channeling your ego in your art and life. Channeling where your energy goes in your art and life. And I am here currently, for those who are curious, I'm at St. Augustine, Florida. There's this fort that it's like a national monument. Gosh darn it, the name, I just saw it and it's slipping my mind. I can't remember what this fort is called. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to talk about the kind of second part of this channeling your ego series, which is looking at what happens when we put too much of our energy into us, into I, and why we do that, and what can happen when we do that excessively. And one of the things that really pisses me off about video games, or like if I'm playing a game on the computer, if I'm watching something like a video, is when it freezes, you know? Like if my game freezes, or, you know, the game I'm watching on my computer freezes, or like I'm watching a video and it freezes. Like, that is the most annoying thing ever. Like, anytime that's happened to me, especially like as a kid, oh my god, like if I'm playing like GoldenEye on N64 and it freezes and I'm about to just like yeah, anyway. But yeah, like it's annoying, and it sounds stupid when you think about why it's annoying. It's obvious, right? It's like, oh, this game is not supposed to be stagnant. Like, you should be, the whole point of a video and motion picture is that it's moving pictures. Like, the picture is constantly changing. The video is constantly in motion. And when it freezes, it's no longer moving, right? You're stuck. You are stuck in that present moment until either the game unfreezes, which it most of the time doesn't, or you turn off and you restart. So I think this is a really good connecting thought towards like how we can focus excessively on ourselves. Like when we focus too excessively, you know, on ourselves, we overheat the systems that are supposed to be seeing and developing and evolving as you move and groove and evolve and grow. And when you get so stuck inside of yourself in terms of a situation that's happening, you end up prolonging that situation. And so something that I do, my friends always give me a hard time for it, because like if my computer freezes, especially I've had it for a while, like if my computer freezes, I will start like clicking things in hopes that by me clicking things further, that it will like somehow magically make my computer become unstuck and unfreeze. And typically that prolongs the process, like, because I'm like clicking even deeper into the problem, which is I'm giving it things to do that is overheating it, because I'm focusing on what I want it to do. And when we get too stuck, and it can happen in terms of getting really stuck on terms of like, you know, where we are in the moment and we're not happy with where that is, and you know, we put too much pressure on where we are at this point in time in our process, and where maybe the artwork that we're trying to create is, or where our craft is, or where the particular project that we're working on is, and if it's not meeting the timeline, or like even in just our lives, in terms of like not being at the place that you want to be, things not moving fast enough, you know, these are all things that can cause us to like try to put more pressure and have the computer of our characters be doing more things, and when it freezes, pushing buttons, like pushing your buttons, pushing your own buttons, is not going to help bring the game to starting up faster. It's not going to bring anything good out of that moment. And in the same way, yeah, I think we get really stuck at times. I think sometimes we freeze. Things are not quite as they should be. When we're overheated, when we're getting overworked, I think sometimes we freeze, and our self-preservation mode, our egos, our energy goes way too deeply into ourselves. It's like a computer. You could tell that it's gonna freeze because it's working way too hard. Like, it should not be making that noise, trying to do a function for like 10 minutes. How you doing? Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, dude, I'm on the road too, actually.
I understand that.
Yeah, man.
I'm just trying to get something to drink.
Nah, I feel you, bro. Is there a water fountain somewhere around here?
I'm trying to find.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Yeah, I'm just passing through. But yeah, man, best of luck.
Have an awesome day.
Yeah, you too, man. But yeah, like when you put too much, pressure on yourself, especially when you're freezing up, like when things are freezing up, when you are, your muscles are locked up physically, or like your mental muscles are locked up, it's trying to push yourself out of that is not going to help you. And so I think what can end up happening is that we get like really stuck in our own heads, and we get stuck in our own thoughts, and we just kind of pour more and more energy into getting unstuck, which is keeping us stuck. So yeah, this is just another way that I think, our energy goes, when our energy goes excessively in the direction of ourselves, we end up sometimes like shelving the functions that we need and the fun in the functions that we need to proceed and to progress. So yes, this is part 2 of the channeling your ego in your art and life, channeling where your energy goes in your art and your life. And this is what happens when energy excessively goes too deeply into the me. So, see you guys later. I will be talking about how these two things come together in the next video, and how we can properly channel that ego. So, peace.
Actually, he's not done yet because, Mr. Keen here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Speaking of channeling your art, I want to know why you ran away, Mr. Keen. Mr. Keen left me in the dust just now, and I find him. He made me search for him, and I find him talking to you guys. Hello, my name is LKHD. You probably never heard of me because I'm sure Mr. Keen never speaks of me, and that's okay. Oh, I'm sorry. This is rhetorical arts. I'm sorry. I'm speaking with rhetorical arts here. So yeah. So let's continue a little bit. I know we're making the video a little bit longer now, but let's.
Yeah. So, I'll tell you what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I was just talking about like just where I'm doing a series on channeling your ego and your art in your life. The first part of the series, I just talked about like how we can what happens when our energy goes excessively into others or into something other than us. And I kind of broke down a couple ways to do that, like whether that's happening in terms of like you're putting your energy into somebody else's successes, into somebody else's failures, and that's taking energy away from like the things that you're able to do, or you're putting your energy into some other version of yourself that you've either passed already, or a version of yourself that hasn't even shown up yet. Mm-hmm. And so that's like trying to be more than you are, and you put all your energy into kind of putting on airs. And so yeah, I was talking about that last time, and then this time I kind of went the other way, and was just talking about how like, if you imagine a moment that happens in like a video game freezes, or like when a computer freezes. Actually, he is probably the main person that like would speak to me doing this, because I was telling him that like whenever my computer freezes, I start clicking stuff like crazy to try to like unfreeze it, and it just like makes it worse. And you're looking at me like, dude, really? Like, why are you doing that? So yeah, we're just kind of talking about that process and how, like, you know, when we are overworked or, you know, it's taking or overheated, because there's so much energy being put into ourselves that, like, we end up freezing. You know, we end up not being able to actually function and to have the type of fun in the things that we want to do.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
You know, and I'm going to add to this briefly because I know we're getting a little over time here, but you know, in an interesting way I've seen it put, I listened to this audiobook on mysticism. I don't remember the title right now, but the lady who wrote it, she put this in perspective about our society. She said we live in a muscular and wage-earning society, and she said this in a statement talking about how people who desire to live the contemplative life might be looked down upon by the majority of people in the world today, because it's a life that on the outside looks lazy, even though internally you're doing a lot of work, but it's not readily seen. Sometimes to work through our points where we're stuck, where there's a glitch, it's actually important to stop doing all of this on the outside.
Yep.
And to just sit.
Yep.
You know, sit with it, and allow. A lot of times with internal processes, there's automatic things within you which know how to work things out, and you just have to allow those wheels to spin, and you will find yourself moving forward. I had this personally in my life. There was a time where, due to Lyme disease, I came over with Bell's palsy, which you know, paralyzed half of my face. I'm a saxophone player, so I couldn't play horn for a few months, and it was actually beautiful because, you know, during that time I took a lot more time to relax, and I also did a little bit of percussion practice, a little bit of composition practice. Long story short, when I came back to the saxophone after 3 months of not picking up at all, and you figure, oh, not practicing, this dude's probably like super rusty, I was actually better. I was actually better for it. So do not underestimate the power of standing still.
Yeah, dude, it's something you said to me a while back, that when the world is moving, you should be standing still. When the world is standing still, you should be moving.
I did.
So yeah, that is just something to keep in mind. LKHD unexpectedly jumped in, did his thing. So by the way, you say you play saxophone, you do like music stuff, like where
I
can
do
people
music.
find you?
LangstonKelly.com,
Yeah.
that's the main hub. It'll link you to YouTube where you can see some videos and whatnot. And I'm on Spotify and all that.
Radio. So guys, this is Rhetorical Arts, LKHD, guest feature in this video.
Rhetorical arts, not keen. You never heard the word keen. This is rhetorical arts only. Arts
With a Z.
with a Z.
Not putting you to sleep, putting you in the dreams. Whatever, I'm gonna mess with that. Anyway, all right, y'all. I see you guys tomorrow. We'll do part 3 of channeling your ego and your heart and life, channeling your energy goes in your heart.